hi.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that.
Well, at least you pressed the wrong button to present. So
Yeah. So what? Wait a minute.
What?
No, I'm wrong.
How do you know?
Because it didn't stop the music.
Oh.
That's just a weird game mechanic thing. I didn't mean to do that. Like the game music always stops whenever I get it right. So
Alright.
it's just a weird thing I picked up on.
The parking stop? Cause maybe. Six, 7S, or is that a 5?
I don't know.
6, 7, 5, 12, 2.
Well,
Like December 2nd?
What would this prove?
What does 6, 7, and 5 have to do with anything? What?
Should I do this?
We're down to like 2 hits. I mean...
what would contradict that the murder was planned?
Well...
No prints. So that goes back with the gloves.
ID card? Why would his ID card have dropped when he was stabbed? That doesn't make any sense.
Neither does
It means that he might have been showing it or something? Or...
No, it was in his wallet.
It was in his... Oh, yeah, that's right. So, but why was his wallet away from the car?
I don't know.
Was he mugged and then stabbed, I guess, by Lana?
Actually, you think we should use that? Because, like, if he was killed in the car...
Theoretically, it should still be on his person or in the car, right? Maybe on the ground nearby, but we found it, like, at the entrance.
But how... Okay, so this is all good theories, but how does it prove that it wasn't premeditated?
I know. I'm just trying to think, and... Death due to blood loss, 1 stab wound.
Anything else?
From chest wound. Well, she's standing next to the car right as the murder happens. Where's the body?
Maybe it's still in the trunk.
Well, then that means it would have to have been brought from somewhere else, which means that Edgeworth was driving the vehicle all the time, right?
Yes.
Which means that either the murder didn't happen at 5:15, like they said it did, or Edgeworth is somehow involved in this case. And since neither of those can be true,
but
then the body is not in the photograph, that means that this is...
I already presented the photograph.
And you can't present it again?
It was wrong. Remember? I did that just to see. And I
thought you presented something else.
No, it was a photograph.
Oh. Well, fuck.
Hold on, can I?
You want to save here?
I'm gonna save scum.
I think this is gonna be the first time we're actually gonna fail if we get this wrong. Did you do the stub?
Yes.
Fuck!
Wait,
this
no,
is gonna be weird. This will be the first time we've ever failed.
That wasn't the stub, sorry. That was,
What would you use?
Who
the fuck is... God damn it, Jake.
I did this. Stub. No.
Well, shit.
I saved. Don't worry. Well, let's see what game over looks like.
That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. The defense has failed to give the court sufficient reason to doubt the prosecution's claim. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, guilty. Holy shit. The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned.
It just kicks me out.
Holy shit.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what I expected, but I expected some sort of end game lost dialogue, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly, but just something.
Okay, that's not it either.
What'd you use?
The ID card.
Well then.
Well,
Fucking what?
Maybe I'll try the phone. That's not it.
Is it the shield? The trophy thing? Because it proves that she could have been at something else?
I could try.
That's the only thing I could think of.
No.
No? Well, then, reload.
Yeah.
What's left?
Maybe I could try the autopsy report? No.
Is it the fucking dancing badger bear?
That can't be.
There's no way. That doesn't even make any sense. Okay, so we've done that.
No, I didn't do the knife.
You did
I did not do the knife.
What? Are you shitting me?
Okay. Okay.
Didn't we already present the knife though with something else?
In a different part. And it was wrong, like, in a different thing, but...
Alright. How does it... Is it because it's in the toolbox and not, like, readily available for her to grab? Is that what it's supposed to be?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Alright.
Witness, do you know what this is?
What are you doing?
Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchboxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk.
Ah, yes, the poison. Cusco's poison. The poison chosen specifically to kill Cusco. That poison.
Yes.
Indeed, it is my knife.
What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon? A red car? All belonging to the prosecutor there?
The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right?
Mommy, are the prosecutors bad people? The prosecutors bad in general. The defense has a request. We ask the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. That's where we're going with this? Okay. Sure.
Alright.
I mean, if it gets us where it needs to go, then... How was I supposed to guess that?
Maybe because, like it says, it usually kept in Edgeworth's toolbox, and she has to finagle with the toolbox to be able to get it open, to get the knife, to be able to stab the person.
Glove box.
Whatever.
Glove compartment. You know, whatever.
Okay, well, even then, that means that...
So, but that's how we're supposed to be like, oh, it wasn't premeditated because she didn't bring a knife. She just happened to use one on hand. You know what? I guess that's a good point. Like, why wouldn't she bring a knife? Okay, I can kind of see it. If it was a premeditated murder.
I guess, unless she knew the knife was there, and then when the detective was coming down or whatever, in those 3 minutes since he parked, she went over, got in the glove box, pulled the knife out, shut the door, and then just waited.
But this is Edgeworth's car. How would she know that Edgeworth keeps a knife in his car?
It's a subordinate of her. She probably knows everything about it.
Maybe.
Unless he's in on it, in which case he told her!
Woo! Anyway. Oh! The knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Well, I thought it was in the glove compartment. Well, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Huh? Whoa!
Lunchbox is full.
Yeah.
Order, order, order.
Great. Now the tide is turning in our favor.
Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie.
What?
I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail.
But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory.
Bah! The prosecution could care less if it's premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else.
Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Wearing what?
Gloves, probably.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was like, why would she be wearing what? Her uniform? Because she, like, works there?
It's red, so it'll hide the blood easier.
Oh, but she also had that, like, coat on or whatever. The one that was bloody.
And white.
Right, like, where is that, by the way? Like, she's not wearing it.
It was just kind of...
Maybe she disposed of it because it had blood on it or something? Anyway.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought.
How dare you! My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way here to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else would drive a human machine to plunge a knife in again and again.
Hold it!
There's only one. Yeah, there's only one stab wound.
The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness.
I mean, this one's pretty obvious, but I'm still gonna press everything anyway.
It's because she stabbed in exactly the same spot each time. But also, there's no blood on the tip of the knife.
Yeah, I know.
If it was a stabbing, like, I'm pretty sure the entire blade would be, like...
I guess it's just an aesthetic thing. I don't know.
4.5-inch knife, fucking...
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I'm pretty sure there'd be blood on the tip too, but they're not really, you know...
Also, how is it that the detective, like, wasn't prepared to try and handle himself, you know? I mean, yeah, I guess he was green, but, like... I figured he would have done something to try and fight back if he was actually killed.
I...
And if they had no connection whatsoever, then that means that Lana didn't kill him, because otherwise he would have been kind of on edge and on guard around her.
Yeah.
Like, he would have kept his guard up.
He would have been like, hey, boss. Well, not even boss, because he's a detective, not a prosecutor.
Hello, miss. What can I do for you?
Ha!
Right? Like, he went, what the fuck? No! And, like, would have fucking, like, blocked it and punched her in the face or something. Like, he would have done something, you know? It had to have been somebody he knew. Such as a girlfriend who looks suspiciously like the defendant who, said she saw the murder!
Not defendant, witness.
The witness looks suspiciously like the defendant.
Okay, got it. And who said the yet another boyfriend position is still open!
And who also said that she saw the whole thing. A convenient witness, is it not? In an underground parking lot?
Oh, goodness gracious.
Where her usual, like, stand would have been from over, like, behind the fence across the way?
Can I spoil something?
It's not her.
It's not her.
God damn it, no! I really thought I was getting somewhere.
Sorry. But it was fun to, like, keep the whole thing going. You've said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie.
I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she is about to tell.
Wow! What are you doing? Wow!
She woke up. Now she must meow.
She meows so much, and I love her.
She doesn't do the meow wow.
Meow, wow. She does sometimes, but not.
I haven't heard it since.
Not very often.
I'll just.
Yeah, you're correct. Anyway.
Try not to interrupt her again.
Rookie. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of a oven half-baked. Something's half-baked here, alright, and it's you.
Try not to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Wait, I thought her senses being honed made her quick on her feet, like, as part of being a detective and all that. Or an investigator, like... Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim?
Her actions speak for themselves. You have no proof that Miss Sky called him there. You have no proof she didn't.
Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts?
No.
There is no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Sky's phone.
She might have written him a letter. Come on, you could at least try public phone first, at least.
In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness? Why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day?
What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because you didn't have a grudge.
They have nothing in common.
Yeah. Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside? How am I supposed to know? See? We agree there's a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree?
I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty.
This judge isn't very good with metaphors.
The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this?
It's simple. A human machine? That's a contradiction.
Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's eyes smell like citrus fruit. What? What the fuck?
You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say chopped into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How come she's getting mad at me?
Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that.
Leave it at that. This is a murder case, people.
Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know?
Miss Star has turned up to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her ability as a detective really set her off.
The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact.
I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and then even a really short wick will burn longer.
Obviously, more scientific testing is required.
Well, we already know what to press, or what to present.
The brightest star shines half as long.
Yeah? You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise.
I am afraid the moss is growing on our feet as we wait, Miss Star. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk. He's my hero. Really.
What about my objection? No one noticed?
Well, witness. That's he literally just did your job for you for a second.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Edgeworth? Like, you're the prosecutor. You're not supposed to be...
I know, but he's like, this really should be obvious. I mean, come on. I know I should be on your side, but like, fucking
listen,
really, like...
You can't just outright lie in court. Even I can't fucking help you here. Like, listen, it says he stabbed once. He was stabbed once, alright? Don't fucking make shit up.
Right. Right. You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now, I realize such mistakes are possible.
So, you were saying you mistook something for blood?
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Testify, sister.
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole thing was.
Scene.
So the whole scene was... Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at the moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. Miss Sky was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood?
Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib.
A judge with a bib? That's why this place feels like a kindergarten sometimes.
Huh?
I don't know.
How do you mistake a beard for a bit?
I
Like, what-
don't
I
know.
genuinely... How in the fuck?
I don't know.
What the hell?
I don't know.
I know, what the fuck?
Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest.
However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound.
Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony.
Mr. Wright, this is our chance.
Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr turned out to be a short-tempered... Oh, this is the same.
So...
Okay, well, the thing that changed is always the thing that you need to...
Red muffler?
So... she's not wearing it.
So she's not. And the music stops.
Yeah. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation.
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work.
What?
The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself. With this photograph.
Huh? But that can't be!
Is he actually trying to help us in this?
I don't know,
Like,
maybe.
Maybe, like, in his own weird sort of way, he respects Phoenix and therefore he's trying to, like, to, on the job, like, kind of, like, pass him a, like...
Either that, or he also wants to, like, believe his boss is innocent.
Despite the fact that he's the one that took the case on.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was assigned to him, so he had no choice.
Maybe?
Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words. What good? In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
What about my objection? Was my objection chopped liver? But it was there! A scarf! No, not that, but something red. Really?
Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business.
What?
Very well. Witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspects. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony.
Most important part?
The part where your sister stabs the victim. It's access when we might just be the moment of truth. Sorry, it was a bug. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her and explained her rights to her and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what must have confused me in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made the escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. Also, just explaining your muffler doesn't mean you're gonna see red.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the judge is even...
You are quite determined about the scarf, weren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel
Cobra
Star.
is a snake.
Yeah. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details, unless you want to get bitten.
What are you,
No,
vampire?
thanks.
Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites.
Who isn't?
Right?
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine.
Unless it was that empty one.
Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman, Roar.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you will.
Oh, shit, it's 3:30 in the morning.
It is? Oh shit, you gotta work tomorrow, don't you?
I do. Oh, yeah, okay.
What time?
I work at 5.
Oh, okay.
I know, so it's not that bad, but, like, this should probably be our last episode. Anyway. So, where is this partition on the floor plans?
I'm sure she means this wall next to the car.
That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite the natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then?
You say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time.
But there's that wire thing in
Yeah,
there,
there's
so
like
how
that-
could she, like...
There's that chain link fence. I'd like to see this on the floor plan just to be safe. The lunch land car was... She was a visitor, thought she was parked in the B block. So you witnessed the murder from here?
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you?
I went over it, of course.
Amazing. The Kaffa Queen, lunch lady athlete, indeed. It would have taken her a little to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast.
Yeah, the fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did this guy not get away? She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else?
Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean a cell phone discovered on the crime scene? Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory is like salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't see you, Miss Starr.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car. There was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to the just good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please the rookie defense attorney. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
Aha! I was going to ask the same thing.
I only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim, ran behind the partition. She picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled out her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time...
you climbed over the chain link fence.
And then when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? Bless you.
What is it, Mr. Wright?
She made to escape. Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran, but it was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a
Pate
of foie gras. Huh? She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum?
There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime. But it's strange. What's that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? The parking lot entrance. That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind a partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries.
I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. So Miss Sky tried to run.
I'm sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright.
Not as sorry as I am.
But she didn't do it. You have to believe me.
Okay. Okay, so this was the one that changed. So... probably...
The cell phone?
No, I'm thinking the floor plans.
Because of the link fence?
Because she wouldn't have been able to see her open up her phone.
Ah, right. Unless she stepped out from behind the partition.
Yeah. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Lana Sky.
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias.
Well, who would have thought that you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, together with our chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Star?
Sounds like a personal bias to me.
Yeah. This is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up.
All of your blood.
Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. As you said, you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't have possibly seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at.
Unlike at the crime scene.
That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What?
Order! What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies.
Dun dun dun!
Oh.
That was a grr.
Yeah, I know.
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
Here's where the counterattack begins. Can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about where she saw it. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it.
Pointless to lie. I see.
But the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location.
A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one.
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard up until now points to one direction. The place where Miss Star witnessed the crime was here.
The security room?
Yes. Present. This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room? Indeed, the security room is in the underground parking lot, is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime is in the back of the partition here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Star.
Yes. Anyway. Order, witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I am not turning black. The guilty will be punished. And therefore, I must do what I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty... Is she talking about Miss Sky?
Oh, Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense.
Huh?
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows
Perjury.
Perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Huh? Me?
Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
I was really thinking we'd get to another testimony soon, but this is kind of dragging on a while, and we're already at 34 minutes.
Well, it is what it is.
Should we...
Keep going? Yes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask if maybe we should, like, stop the episode here.
I mean, I guess we can.
Should we do, like, one more, I guess?
I figured let's just get through this list a little bit here and see if maybe it leads to the end of it.
Okay. Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and she saw it from B block. There must be a vital difference. But what? What would change? Distance to the crime? It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
What significance is that, though? Like,
Well, she said she arrested her immediately, right?
that's true. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take for her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime scene of the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky?
Well, witness?
Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? Quality of my lunches have gone from low to inedible. I was bringing PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. I was in the guard there. Anyway.
They were the one that did the killing?
What, And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking lot in B block.
That's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes? That's pretty fucking quick. This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there the defendant's chair, who stabbed him. I know it. I have the photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something.
Do I have any evidence to stop this?
Well, obviously, I mean...
5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could have made pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, Rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange?
Strange?
If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time, it was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah.
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright.
That was too close.
I'm afraid that the Coffin Queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one you tried to foist off on me.
I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say?
I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? Well, I guess we'll find out in the next episode. See you guys next time.
Bye!